Good evening, we're here with Newell, the KNCC Bowls Champion. Thank you very much for being with the SPTT, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much, it's a pleasure to be here.
How did you first get into bowls?
It's a sport that was on TV a lot more when I was younger. There was a lot of sports channels, midweek sports special, a Saturday program as well, sports night, things like that. So it was on a lot more, and I just used to watch it. Me and my mum used to watch it. We had a few characters in those days. Used to watch a guy called David Bryant used to play with a pipe and things like that. And it was just a sport that I watched. And if it was ever on TV, I'd watch it. And there was a lot of local parks and a lot of local grounds in the parks then. So if I was ever out in the summer and people playing, I'd sit down and watch it for a bit as well. So it was just something that I decided to myself, let me give it a try. I think I was off work and then just went down there and that was it.
For some of the viewers who might not have seen too much bowls, could you just briefly explain the basic rules for us? It's
a target sport, so you want to get as close as you can to a small white or yellow ball, what's known as a jack, and you're basically rolling your bowls, which they're not spherical, so they won't roll straight, they roll at an angle, what they call a bias, so it has a natural bend to it, and you're just basically rolling them and getting as close as you can to the target ball. The opponent or your player with the most bowls closest to the jack gets like a point for each one. So if I had the first closest and you had second and third, I'd get 1 point. And you can either play up to a certain score, or what they might have a format of a certain amount of ends, which is when everybody's played all their bowls, then you go down to that end and then you bowl back, so that's one end, so you might have a 7-end match and then whoever's got the highest score wins.
You and the Jamaican bowls team will be going to the Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast in about 5-6 weeks time. How big do you think that can be for bowls in the Caribbean and also for Jamaican bowls?
I think and hope it will be massive really. It's I feel it's sort of on a par with the bobsleigh hype that we had how many years ago, and then what we had this year with the ladies from Jamaica that's got there, and the Nigerians as well. Any sport that's not played, which starts to get played, has got to be good. It's another avenue for young people to maybe look into and represent their country. There's a lot of people I'm sure that can't run, not great at cricket, maybe not footballers, so this is another angle that they can put their hand to, as well as the bobsleigh, as well as the skeleton, and hopefully be proud and maybe represent their country one day.
Do you think it's very important that athletes such as Jasmine Fenlett or Victorian come out and speak about how important diversity is in minority sport?
No one should feel that there's a sport that's not for them, and only because of their colour or their race. It's just ridiculous. So the wider we can get into things is the better. We have Tiger Woods, who opened our eyes in golf. We have Lewis Hamilton, who's opened our eyes in these sports where we'd actually sit down and watch and say, oh well, black people don't do this sport, Caribbean people don't do this sport. So it's important that they speak up about it, but equally being in it is, I think, more words than what anyone can say really.
You've worked tirelessly to try and increase the number of Caribbean bowls players both here and in the Caribbean. What have been the challenges that you've had to overcome to getting particularly the Jamaican bowls team where they are about to enter into the Commonwealth Games?
One of the biggest challenges is the fact that it wasn't and not played in Jamaica. So where a lot of people might do this sport, or even the bobsleighers, their association's already there, so they just got to train, do it and practically represent it. I had to basically form the association that governs the body of lawn bowls within Jamaica, so I had to form the Jamaican Lawn Bowls Association. That had to be done from within Jamaica as well, so I couldn't do it in England, so I've had to have a contact in there, and the now president Hurain Brown was my contact in Jamaica, and together we managed to form it. Mervyn Edwards, who's coming with me to the Commonwealth Games, he did a lot of the paperwork, a lot of the constitution, a lot of the code of conduct and stuff like that. After that, it was then just basically it came up to a number of years before we found players, luckily getting more and more publicity, things like these sort of things, interviews and stuff, radio, some TV and stuff like that, magazines. We found more and more Jamaican players based in the UK that play the sport, and we came together and unofficially basically played as Jamaica against some of the other countries. Some of them were actual World Bowls members in either my events or other events that were put on.
I've been online, I've looked on Instagram, and I know that you've got a brand and called Reggae Rollers. I'd like you to tell us a little bit more, if that's okay.
I thought that Jamaica always have nicknames. They've got the Sunshine Girls, they've got the Reggae Boys, the footballers, they've got I think the Ice Warriors, which is their ice hockey team. I think the Reggae Warriors is a rugby team, they've got rugby league, rugby union team. So it was about thinking about a name that I thought would explain what we're doing and fit in with the sort of Jamaican culture and what we do, and I thought of Reggae Rollers. And then from there it was thinking about, okay, I want to try and get it out there. Maybe I should put some t-shirts out, maybe do some caps, and then it worked out that people sort of liked the design, they liked the logo, and it almost stood for itself. And then with that I decided to sort of keep it going. I designed the Jamaican bowls top that we wore in Northampton last year. So we've got that, the Reggae Rollers. So yeah, we're doing all sorts of things, or I'm doing all sorts of things with Reggae Rollers, but it's just really to keep the name out there and keep the interest and keep people investigating. You know, luckily it made you look onto Instagram, and if other people do, they'll see the clothes, but then they'll also see the part what deals with what we're doing in the sense of playing bowls and trying to get it out there within the Caribbean community and the black community.
Andrew, thank you very much for your time. It's been wonderful. Good luck. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.